Hola, ¿qué tal? Me encuentro en la mansión Morris Jumel, tratando de hacer un video para YouTube. Esta mansión tiene una historia increíble con relación a lo que es la historia americana y la guerra que hubo que se organizó en los 1700. Esta mansión data de 1765, básicamente eso es lo que dice la construcción, pero tiene mucha historia. Aparte de la historia que tiene con relación a ella misma, tiene historia acerca de fantasmas y de muchísimas otras historias que tienen que ver con el misterio. Como se darán cuenta, esta casa tiene, aparte de su historia, otra historia que, será corroborar mañana cuando venga para correr el tour, porque hoy no hay guía que me explique acerca de la historia de la casa. Ya la otra historia me la sé, que es la que hablan de fantasmas y de que muchas personas aparecen o básicamente lo que hacen es que de repente personas como vestidas de esa época aparecen en los pasillos y ese tipo de cosas, sonidos que se escuchan. Se han grabado varios videos acerca de esta casa, pero entendí que tenía que hacer uno ya que vivo cerca, para ver de qué se trata. Básicamente, no es la primera vez que vengo, esta es la segunda vez que vengo para la casa, para ver si... Pero es la primera vez que la documento, que intento hacer un video acerca de ella.
And hanging out. They had a big lunch here, and they actually had it outside, because it was a lot of people. More to know, what they do is they mimic that lunch every year, except for last, and I think this year tampoco because it's colder. But it's fantastic. We have a gentleman who dresses up like George Washington, and they serve all the food that they serve them. Yeah. Okay. So let me tell you a little bit about them. So 1810 to 1865. Again, they bought it as their summer home. They had an apartment or a house in the city, and they wanted to spend time here for the summer. She was born with Eliza Jumel, very poor, in Rhode Island. She then came to New York, trying to look for, some kind of means to, for a better life. So she became an actress. She eventually met her husband, Stephen Jumel, who was a Haitian merchant, a wine merchant, right? He sold wine. So Eliza was really, really smart, self-educated. She started to buy art and collect art and sell art. Her husband was rich. She then also started buying properties and selling properties. At the time, no other woman was really doing that. She at her time became one of the wealthiest women. So she did this all about self-made woman. So they were married. She lived in the house instead of decoro.
O sea, la luz entra específicamente por ahí para combinarse con el cuarto.
Sí, y tenía el wallpaper, es como el cielo, para enseñarte. Porque ella quería que look, that's what you're gonna see. Ella quería que cuando entraron en ese cuarto, se siente como es parte de afuera, ¿verdad? So this is what we're talking about. So la luz entra por la ventana, la luz entra por el fireplace.
It's like the garden, right?
Ajá. La luz también, es un chandelier, pero no es electric. There's no wires, so it's hanging from the ceiling. It's not flushed, right? And they would put candles, right? So the candles would have to be, so they had a servant who was constantly making candles. And then all these crystals allow the candlelight to reflect, and so do the mirrors. Imagine. So that's how they got their.
So they combine the light with the candles and everything?
Sí, exactamente.
Like at the same time?
No, pero antes, como ahora nosotros prendemos la luz.
Nice.
Sí. Pero that was actually Eliza Jumel, and that's still here. And then all the furniture is hers as well, and that's still here. So that's pretty miraculous. It's gone through a lot of changes. The house, when you guys go upstairs on the second floor, there's an exhibition because it's still a museum, right? So sometimes they show different exhibitions. You're gonna see pictures of the house within the times, and it's amazing what it looked like. The property, it was really beautiful. Marker, and it tells you how far the city was from here. So, cuando estaban en caballo, ¿verdad? Porque no tenían carro, no tenían luz, tenían estos markers que te dice que cuántas millas antes que lleguen a la ciudad.
O sea, no una tumba ni nada.
No. Se llama un marker. Esto estaba escrito aquí, pero es tan viejo que después lo cambiaron y pusieron esto. Pero esto es el original marker. So, ahora cuando nosotros manejamos y tenemos signs de la calle, antes era de estas cositas.
En piedra.
Ajá. Y tú estás en tu caballo, ¿para dónde voy? Ok, tengo
Sí.
5 más millas.
La señal de tránsito.
Sí. Y ahí todavía está. Incredible. Vamos a seguir por acá.
Okay,
So they're all yours.
great.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you.
Okay,
Have
have
a
fun.
good day.
Gracias, igualmente. Cuídate.
So if you guys want to come on in and sanitize your hands right over there. Most people don't get to see that these days, mostly birds and squirrels. So in order to keep you socially distanced, what I'm going to do is let one group go first, and then you'll follow right behind. And what we've done is we've implemented tour stops in numerical order. So you got 1, 2, 3 is down there in the octagon room, and this is 4. I know that's confusing, but we've done it so that you can quickly from 4 scoot around the corner and go downstairs to 5. Then 6 through 11 are going to be upstairs. Number 12, you're going to bring all of your questions to me in the gift shop. I'll answer them, and then I'll let you out the secret side door.
Parecen como fotos de esa época, bueno, 1905. Eso es mucho.
scary per se, but like there have been times where lights flash and stuff like that. We have vibration cat balls, like they're cat toys, and you know, we'll put it up on the mantle and it'll go off on its own. There was a story, and this actually made it into the newspaper. A school group was here. They were waiting out on the lawn, kind of like you were, for the late tour guide to arrive, and the whole house was locked. So the tour guide ran up. She had the keys in her hand. She said, "I'm so sorry, give me a few minutes." But while they were waiting, they said that a woman came out up onto that widow's walk, the balcony up there, and said, "Be quiet or leave." And they were kind of like, you just yelled at us for no reason, you know. They were just being kids. So this portrait up here used to be upstairs. So the kids do a whole tour of the house, you know, this main floor, and then they go upstairs, and they all of the kids stop, and the teacher stopped, and they're like, "That's her, that's who yelled at us." And the curator said, that's Eliza Jumel.
There it is.
She's been dead for 99 years. So this story makes it into the newspaper. And then he was a psychology professor at NYU. His name was Hans Holzer, but he was developing something called parapsychology, which is like the idea of like the psychology behind ghosts and stuff like that. So he comes to the house, he does some recordings, he has like a seance, and he says he got some stuff. So since then, the house, or even before then, I mean, there were real estate ads advertising the house as a haunted house. The families who lived here would write letters, you know, that after Eliza Jumel died, they would hear scratching on the walls and on the shutters and stuff like that. Now, granted, it is an old house, and I'm sure you noticed when you went up to the second floor, you know, you step on the floorboards over here, they're making noise over there, right? So it's a creaky old house. It's on a slant, you know, like the foundation is not so great. So there are things we can debunk. The heat in the winter is obnoxiously loud, and people hear it and they're like, "Oh my God, that's a ghost." Like, no, that's the heat. But there are other things that we can't debunk. So while I can't say for sure, yes, we are haunted because I've never been dead, I can tell you that if there was going to be a haunted house, or if there were going to be ghosts, they would probably exist in a 256-year-old house. You know, that being said, have you ever felt anything like bad?
Nothing negative, no.
Yeah, you know.
It's always like, okay, this is cool.
Mm-hmm. And what I say, so we do actually have children's tours and like tours for teenagers, and what I always say is, you know, where would you haunt after you die? You know, you're not gonna haunt somewhere that, you know, you were mad about, right? Like, you're gonna haunt a place you loved. So if there are any entities here that are not physical, we do really feel that they're here. They have, you know, a good spirit and you know, a positive presence here.
Like my daughter said she doesn't want to come in here because she felt something like the last time we came outside, and I said, "Can we go?" And she said, "No, I can't go there." I said, "Why?" I can't explain it, but I can't go there. Why?
We have a lot of people who say that, you know, or you know, just when they come into the house, they feel stuff. When they go into certain rooms, they feel stuff. I will tell you that having worked here for a really long time, Karen's been here for about 2 years. You know, I've never felt scared or threatened. If there's any, you know, if you have any weird feelings, what I always tell people to say is like, just say, "Thank you for the visit. Please don't follow me home."
Yeah.
You know, yeah. But we do paranormal investigations if you're interested in that. And so the paranormal investigations, you get to come to the house. Now in COVID, obviously masks and gloves, but you get to use equipment, so EMF detectors, stuff like that. And that's a 3-hour program. It's at night. Then we also have something that's a candlelit ghost tour. So you don't use equipment, it's just an hour and a half, and you just go through the house at night, which is pretty cool. And you get to like hear the stories of the house, but you know, there's no proof, let's say. When we do the paranormal investigations, you know, we've got some devices that go off, and it's kind of like, you know, we're all over here, the device is going off over there, like who or what could that be, you know?
It's nice.
So if you're interested, after you guys leave today, I'm going to send you an email with a visitor survey just to gauge, how comfortable you were coming to a historic house in a pandemic, and if you have any other feedback. So if you are interested in that, our paranormal investigations and the Candlelight Ghost Tours sell out like that. So what we do is we have a wait list. So if you're interested, just email me back and say, hey, put my email on the wait list, and I'll do that. And then you'll get notified 48 hours before the rest of the public whenever we have those dates announced. Right now we don't have any dates on the calendar. The paranormal investigations probably won't start up again until September, but we are going to do the Candlelight Ghost Tours very likely starting in May and June.
Do you have them around Halloween?
Yeah.
That would be
Yes.
interesting.
Yeah, and I have to say, it's been pretty, there in the past, like past years before the pandemic, not every investigation would have like major things happen, but since the pandemic, every time we have people in the house after dark, something happens. Every time. Yeah, like it's active is kind of like the word that we use, for sure.
Bueno, si termina la visita a esta mansión, a la primera mansión de Manhattan, New York, espero que les haya gustado el video. Hay mucha historia acerca de esta casa. Como les dije anteriormente, está dividida entre la historia que te cuentan de Maurice Jumel, que yo pensaba que era una sola persona, y fueron los dos dueños, el primero y el último dueño de la mansión. Por eso se le llamó así, Maurice Jumel. El primero no quería ir a la guerra porque era inglés, y la guerra era en contra de Inglaterra, de Estados Unidos en contra de Inglaterra. Y a pesar de que era amigo de George Washington vivió aquí 6 semanas, el padre de la nación americana, que era general en ese tiempo. Esta casa se ha convertido como una especie de mito o leyenda por el asunto de que siempre se reportan de que fantasmas y movimientos. Ojalá y pueda poner el traductor y el audio haya captado perfectamente bien lo que ella dijo con relación a la casa. En la noche se ve un poquito tenebrosa, como si fuese una película de terror, pero en fin, por ahora me parece solamente una casa normal que data de los 1765, básicamente, y no es, como dicen, no es la gran cosa en el sentido de misterio, sino una casa turística para visitar, una mansión, la primera mansión de New York. Y eso es todo, no es algo para morirse del miedo, porque hay mucha gente que no viene por miedo y gente que quizás no viene porque está muy escondida, está básicamente en unos 6 y pico de Jumel Terrace, bueno, lleva el nombre de la misma calle del primer dueño de la mansión. Pero en fin, espero que les haya gustado y que disfruten el video. Cuando quieran venir para acá a disfrutar de un tour alrededor de la casa, más entrar a la casa para ver todas las antigüedades que tienen con relación a la guerra, a la historia de todo este lugar.